Hi guys. I just lived for lifetimes. I died and lived for lifetimes.
He did. I have a video of him dying.
And living for lifetimes.
Yeah.
So I thought I would try... Every time you flick your eyebrows, I wish I could...
Go ahead.
And like when I saw you, you were doing it like a trillion times a second.
Well, explain to them what's going on.
You were like an insect.
Yeah.
But your face was so 3D. Like you, oh my god. I died and became reckful. That was how bad my trip was. It was a bad trip. I became
That's
reckful.
the worst trip ever.
Oh
Can't believe
god.
it. What would it be like to be me? Holy shit.
So we did, I did psilocybin. How do you pronounce it?
Psilocybin.
Psilocybin. I'm gonna ask you a million times. Psilocybin. So I thought I'd try 3.5 grams because somebody told me that was enough to get some good ass shit. Then I tried a second bag, and then I did a third bag. So I had 10.5.
And he thought he was me. I was just babysitting him through the experience, and he thought he was me somehow.
I lived the life of a crazy person for what
and I had
felt
to video
like
up the entire
lifetimes.
thing. It's funny.
I wish I could explain. Like I would pick my phone up, and it would say like 9:51.
Yeah.
And then like I would put it down, and I would live a lifetime in that room, and I'd pick it up, and then it would say 9:52, and I can't even like communicate what that was like. Oh my god.
That's what I want to comprehend. Like, it really was. Each minute was longer than the rest of your life experience. Was what you felt like. You still haven't decisively said that, or maybe it's not about long and short. And it's
The problem is I don't know if my perception of time was flawed, or if I was just experiencing things faster, or if I just thought I was. If that makes sense.
Yeah, something I thought about now, or a little earlier, was that you should have looked at a clock with the seconds ticking. So then we could see, and then you could remember how you experienced the seconds. As you watch 1 second tick, I wonder how long it would have felt.
The problem is that like maintaining that much focus on reality was impossible. So like...
You'd be there for like 3 seconds at a time.
Yeah, so like the really frustrating part, I'll probably upload, if they send me this video, or I don't know, depending on what's it, I want to just throw this like whole raw footage online. It's really fascinating. Like I would come out of it, and I'd be talking to Byron for like 2 seconds, and I would just fucking go right back into it. Oh my god, so hard. And it was so frustrating.
Yeah. Where's your chat thinking about it?
I don't know.
It's easier to count the time. Wait, did any of these people ever have your experience?
So you didn't do such watch anything fun while you were doing it, you were just in it. So like, the way that I would describe this is like...
Oh, he went past the... so some people
I went to another dimension.
Yes, that's what he keeps saying, yeah. So some people... At first he felt like what he described as a marijuana high.
Yeah, so like, when I did one bag, I was like, I got marijuana high, so everything was giggly and kind of funny or whatever. But I don't think that kicked in yet. And then I did 7 more grams. And then I think the first one kicked in, and like the wall kept exploding in color, and it was just very kind of artsy or whatever. But then when the other 2 bags kicked in, it was into another dimension. Like art and shit wasn't even something I was thinking about. I was dead.
Right, he thought he died.
And I was stuck in a loop of death, and I couldn't get out.
Oh, he was repeating the same things over and over.
You're like...
He repeated... what did you repeat? Hold on.
So the problem was that
you repeated, am I dead? You repeated, how do I know this is real? And you repeated, am I you? You thought you were me.
Okay, so before I got to that point, so the problem was that I'm pretty sure I can feel like very distinctively between the 3.5 grams and then when I hit the 10.5 grams. Because in the 3.5, that like there were like explosions of color and shit, and all that was kind of funny. But then when the full fucking 10.5 kicked in, I was like, I got lost in a loop where I was dead, and I couldn't trust any of my senses for anything that was real. Mm-hmm. And I heard the voices of like everybody around me. Like the very interesting part was that like I saw like Byron's face with people like saying like it's kind of weird how we're like all here, right? And then I heard like another girl in the room would like say like, yeah, like what are the chances that you guys would be here? And then somebody else would be like, oh yeah, you're a real big streamer, aren't you? Isn't that why you're here? And like gaslighting the fuck out of my reality. And like by the time I was done with this loop, after like it felt like a million times going through this, because what I would remember was like I would start the loop and I'd be like, I don't want to do this, and then I would go through it, and then I remember thinking again, like, I don't want to do this, but how many millions of times was I just thought I don't want to do this, but I couldn't hold that thought long enough to repeat the loop again. And by the end of it, I was just like, I don't even
You
think...
watched back the video, and only 1 second's going by, and you're saying,
yeah, but
am I here?
One
wait.
second.
1 second. You say, am I here? Am I back?
So
and then you go away.
On the video, like,
1
I would
second
ask,
later,
like,
you say,
am I here?
here?
But, like, every time it's like, am I here? And then I would lose it. I'd be gone for, like, hours in my head. And then I'd come back, it's like, am I here?
Actually 1 second in real life.
Yeah, but it's like 1 or 2 seconds.
1 or 2 seconds, yeah.
Holy shit.
It's weird that your mind can process so much information in 2 seconds. I wouldn't have thought it was possible, right?
I don't know. And like every time the scariest thing is that like I would keep coming back, but every time I come back I would have this inkling that it wasn't real anymore, and I kept worrying that I would come back and then that would actually be reality, but I would be left with this permanent feeling that it's not real. That was like the worst fucking feeling in the world.
Right.
And then I would keep hearing like voices of these guys, like they would say things that only I knew, but they would say them to make fun of me, like talking to themselves in the background.
This is in your head.
Yeah, clearly. This is all in my head, though. But it's, like, so real. And I kept thinking, like, this is what insanity feels like, but I can't not hear them making fun of me in the background.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So I mean, everyone's contemplated that maybe, I don't know if everyone has. I've contemplated that maybe I'm in, what's more likely? Do I stream back when I play? Do I stream repetitively playing a card game on the internet to thousands of viewers who are sitting there watching me, or am I in an insane asylum banging my head against the wall? Right? What's more likely? I would think it's the insane asylum.
The thing that I can't explain is that I went through this loop so many times that it didn't matter. And this is what felt like death to me, was that like I would think for like a fleeting second, I'd be like okay, like I don't want to be stuck in this loop, and then I would go through these like bad thoughts, and then I'd be like, okay, well, what does it even matter? Like this is death, you're dead. Like it doesn't matter what you want or think. And I would just like repeat that loop infinitely, like dumb, stupid thoughts, and I just remember thinking like, I died. I can't believe I did this trip. I actually fucking died. I'm so stupid for doing this.
Yeah.
And I got lost in that for so long.
You were worried about forgetting to breathe? That's unrelated, I think.
I think I asked you guys like a million times, like, don't let me die. I think I said it like a million times.
A million times. No, every time... Wait, I verified to you something. Every time you thought that it would never end... I'm tilting my head toward you too much. Every time you thought that it would never end, I said, okay, you know that time always moves forward.
Yeah,
I was trying to give you proofs, right? You know time always moves forward. Like you were a person before you had this experience. You knew time always moved forward.
Yeah.
Look at your phone; it's moving forward, right?
So like,
and then that's one thing. And the second thing was, you know that if a human ingested some drug, that the effects of it would not last forever. So if you know those two things, that time moves forward, and then if you ingest a drug that lasts forever, you'll get out of it.
This
right?
is the hard part for me to explain. Like when you said that to me, it felt like you were saying it like making fun of me. Like, well, if it like you're saying like, of course you know this because you invented this fiction to be your reality. So isn't it like so convenient that this will be done soon? Isn't it so convenient that you'll pass this? Or isn't it so, right? Like, so like everything that you would say to me to try to like assure me was like my own mind was telling me like, well, of course he's saying this because I'm like trying so hard to maintain the facade that this is all real. So even though you were all, and Chris was actually like the worst for this. Now, and I keep saying the worst. This is just all in my head because he would keep saying things that I knew. So like my mind was saying, well, I'm scripting this for him to say so that I could hear it, and then he would say something. Oh my god, it was just fucking with me so hard.
Yeah,
And then
okay, you were imagining people fucking with you.
Everybody was gaslighting constantly.
Yeah. Making you think it was.
I would never do this again.
Making fun of you for thinking it was reality for a moment.
Yeah.
But then it was reality. Sometimes.
But I could never tell.
Except those times.
I don't know what was reality. And I would keep coming back into it thinking it was real, but it wasn't.
And then you asked me to do the autistic numbering thing. So to pinch you. I pinched you. I thought of that on my own.
So like the two things that I would, because I do, this sounds really mean to talk about, like I do a lot of lucid dreaming just because I do. I didn't know it was like a thing, I just do. But the ways that I would always test myself I was dreaming as a kid is one, is I need to be presented with new information.
Right.
I think I said Manafort to you like a million times.
Okay,
yeah. Because I want you to give me some new information that I can't invent in my own head. That's one thing. Or to do your number thing. I asked you to do the autistic number thing, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know the doubles up to what you do, but I know enough to fact check it to make sure I'm not like inventing dumb shit.
So like, you wanted to see Mulan, so you could you could have new experience. I mean, even if you've seen Mulan before, you don't remember every frame of the movie.
And like getting stuff that I know that my head couldn't
Your head can't just make up Mulan again.
But the problem is that like I kept thinking that like I am inventing it and I can't know the difference. There's just no possible way for me to know because I could be fabricating a reality in front of me.
No, then I was saying that in lucid dream you've never felt pain, right? So then I pinched you.
Yeah, and I didn't like that at all.
Right, but then you said it was helping.
I think I said that, but I didn't. It was not like another. The thing is that like when you did that, there were moments where like the problem. Okay, so there's like another part where I became reckful, and it was very fucking horrible. But when you would like do things, like I think you shook me and you told me to stand up. When you would do things, it would feel like somebody was like reaching out, and I felt some part of my mind where I was like, wait a second, I'm not actually dead. This is real. But then everybody in my mind would go back to gaslighting me, and you would become part of the fabricated reality experience.
I see. So while I was doing that, there were other actors around you fabricating your reality.
Constantly.
I see.
And there was no. And the thing that I realized is at a point.
I'm trying to decide if I want to do this in the future. Basically.
Well, because I actually felt insane, and I remember thinking like, this is insanity. Because
sorry, I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
The thing is that like when you imagine what it would be like for your senses to betray you, your cognitive experience is the one architecting that. But when your senses themselves are actually betraying you, when I look at my phone and it says like 10:51, and then I like watch you guys walk around the room and we live lives in this room, and then I look at my phone again and it's 10:52, like, but I know that everything oh god, I just can't, because your senses are lying to you. Like you can't trust anything, and I would. Yeah. So like there came a point where like reckful kept trying to ask me like what is happening, because I would keep coming back, and I think I asked in real life. I think I said 50 million times like I think I'm back. Is this real life?
Yeah.
And I would keep asking, and you would keep saying yes. Yeah. It didn't feel like seconds. It felt like hours and hours.
This just reminded me. There's some show. God, maybe it's just a Black Mirror episode to make it less cool, but something about somebody suddenly goes and lives a whole life with a new wife in this little hut somewhere in a place where there's no water. Oh no, it's a Star Trek episode. It's a Star Trek
Might
episode.
be.
No, it is a Star Trek episode. I remember now. Someone suddenly goes and lives Star Trek Next Generation their whole life on some other planet where there's it must be someone who took shrooms to make this episode because it sounds like your experience. And there's a drought, and they're trying to save this planet, and they have a kid, and they grow old, and 70 years go by, and it's just like it was just a second. Yeah. Which is not almost as intense as what you're describing, I guess.
Well, probably not. That's actually like really fucked up.
Yeah, but how long?
I mean, that's what it felt like. I was spending lifetimes in these rooms.
Lifetimes. That's what you're saying.
Like that was my whole existence.
Yeah, lifetimes. Yeah. That was one lifetime. What I was just describing.
Yeah.
So you really experienced with that episode of Star Trek.
Who I was as a person became a distant, fleeting memory.
Yo, I shaved today. Don't film me. It's no good.
Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, I asked you to know that it was okay. But it was like the person that I was like a distant, fleeting memory, and everyone here had gaslit the fuck out of me so much in my mind that like whatever I thought I was going into that, I didn't exist anywhere. But that didn't even matter, because who was I to even think about whether that mattered? Because that was part of my past self that would even care about it. So none of it actually mattered, and I was dead. For an hour. I was just dead. For lifetimes, though, I was actually dead.
While you were dead, what were you experiencing?
The thing that would happen is I would get stuck in this loop.
You're experiencing the loop while you're dead? Why do you think you're dead?
Because...
What made you think you're dead? I never got that part. I never understood that.
Because I didn't remember who I was, or I didn't think that... The problem is that, I keep using I statements, but I can't really... You
didn't have an I.
It wasn't an I, yeah. It was like I... was just like a passive observer to some horrible shit, and then when I say horrible shit, I just mean random nonsense images that mean nothing and don't make me happy or anything, and that who I was as a person was some that past bullshit.
When you did come to for moments and see me and see your arms and stuff,
it made everything worse.
I don't get that.
Because what would oh my god. So what would happen was I would come back for a second and I would say is this
Make
real?
Sure you're filming your own face.
Yeah.
Your whole face.
So I would come back for a second.
I don't mind being in this.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
I'll come back for a second and I would ask you, is this real? And then you would...
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah, that's me. Thank you very much.
Classic burger. And scrambled eggs. Bring it back with the rest and you can...
I would ask you, I would come out for a millisecond, I would ask you, is it real? And then you would say yes, and I was positive that would return, but then as soon as I would say that, like, the room would just, like, fucking go into fantasyland again. And so I asked you so many times, is this real? And you kept saying yes, but it felt like you were gaslighting my existence, because as soon as you would say yes, I would lose it again. I was like, well, you kept saying it was real, but it wasn't real. But then I realized that it didn't matter if anything was real. Who would you even care if anything was real? Because it could all be...
What I'm curious about is if I tried it, would I care that it's not real? Because I'm totally content with if I lived in a dream world for the rest of my life, I'm fine with that.
I wasn't. That was my problem.
Are you fine with it right now when you're sober?
No, I hated it. It was the worst part.
No, the idea of living in a dream world forever.
No.
Oh, I'm fine with it.
Oh, okay. I'm not. So maybe it would be different for you.
Yeah, I wonder what it'd be like for you.
Yeah, I don't know. Because there was like some fleeting, like infinitesimal small part of me that was saying that like you shouldn't be okay with being dead. But I couldn't like figure it out. I couldn't hold the thought long enough to justify it, and I kept coming back to it, thinking that like I probably thought this thought a trillion times before, but it doesn't matter because I'm dead and I'm probably stuck in this loop forever.
Right.
Oh my god.
It's something.
It's holy shit.
I want. Okay. So
to be
listen,
clear,
I wonder what other people think.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend this.
Yeah.
If you're not like a.
Have a wrap with no bacon?
Yeah, that's me. Thanks. You wouldn't recommend it, but
it is the worst.
As you talk about it, I'm more and more interested. But at the same time, I am scared shitless of being trapped somewhere for
forever.
What feels like longer than your life.
Oh my god, it's the worst feeling in the world.
Significantly longer than your life?
You're dead. You're infinitely dead. Forever. It's like your life becomes like a distant memory that you don't even remember anymore. Like I couldn't even put together pieces. Well, but it was because you guys kept like gaslighting me in my head to make me think that like what I was saying wasn't real. And like, oh my god. We should have streamed the whole thing. We should have went to an Airbnb though, and we should have streamed the whole thing. It would have been fucking fascinating.
And you never want to do it again?
I don't think I could do that again. Oh my god, I died. It was. Why would I want to die again? Oh my god.
Maybe if you became suicidal, you don't want to.
So I was yeah, sorry. So I was gonna do. Somebody said that like if you wanted to do shrooms the first time, you should do 1.5 whatever. So I was like, I wanted a hero trip with the 3.5. So I did the 3.5, and then I was like, let's go even higher, and then I did 7 more. So this is a 10.5 trip, and it was I went to another dimension in multiple dimensions. Oh my god.
What are they saying?
Autisticity.
Autisticity?
Yeah, they're making fun of me for being retarded. Most people.
I don't feel like you're being retarded at all.
Well, yeah, because you understand me, because we get each other. But most people would say that, like, why would you ever go after an experience like this? But it's like I have to know what it's like. Which I think is your thing right now. You're just like intensely curious.
Yeah, I want to know what it's like too.
It's probably frustrating you that I can't communicate it to you.
It's frustrating me you can't communicate it, but it's more frustrating. I know I have to experience it to know, but it's frustrating me that I have to experience something longer than my entire lifetime just to get this one.
It's not worth. Oh my god, it's
not worth it, right?
But now that I'm alive, it's worth it. But like in the moment, oh my god, it's such a horrible feeling to be fucking dead. Oh, so like something that happened was, as I was constantly being gaslit about my reality, Reckful kept questioning me, like, what is it like? What's going on? Can you explain where you're going? But the way that he did it, he was so close to me that I started to believe that I was actually him. And I was like, my body was kind of there, but I was like observing his relationship with like Becca, and I felt like it was our relationship, that I had become Reckful, and then he would like talk to me, and I was like this crazy person like existed inside of your mind, and I was like a passive observer that was just that was you the whole time. And I kept coming into these realities where
you had this thought that your whole life was some bullshit.
Yeah, it was
ended up like, how did you end up coming to California and meeting me in real life?
Yeah.
And that you must have really been me the whole time.
Yeah.
And like,
I kept like kind of coming out of it, and then I felt for a while that like I was like a crazy person, like on the couch of just like some 2 dudes, and you guys were like, oh, is he back again? And you were just like making fun of me, and I was a crazy person, and I legitimately felt like I had just imagined my whole previous life, that I was a dad and I had a kid. That was just a distant fantasy, and I was actually just a fucking lunatic living lifetimes on your couch. And it was the worst feeling in the world.
Now,
Oh god, it
to
was
step
so
back
bad.
and think that it's conceivable that is it considering you just ate something and it made you think your whole reality is an illusion. Is it conceivable that the regular food we consume makes us continue in this illusion?
Probably.
But we need it to survive.
Yeah.
We know we're gonna die without it.
Sure.
What if it keeps us in the illusion?
I guess it's possible.
Never tried not eating for a month.
That's true. Well, people have water
And the thing you
fasted.
did was right now was just eating something else.
Yeah.
The regular buttermilk?
Oh god, guys.
Regular
No,
buttermilk?
he got
You
the
got it.
chocolate.
I got the chocolate chip.
I got
He got chocolate.
okay.
Thank
I got
you.
chocolate, right?
Yeah, he got chocolate. Okay. Can I get yours? Anything else for you?
Reckful and my personality,
Yeah.
we can't like exist together. It's actually so funny. Well, I can because I can become more passive, but like Reckful does all the things that I do in social environments. So like if I go out to eat with friends, I'm the one saying like, okay, let's order. What do you want? Like I'm directing that interaction always because people won't do it on their own, right?
Right.
You have to take charge.
Yeah, I feel
but
that.
like so I'm like watching Reckful do it. And he's like really uncomfortable when he like is like commanding me because I want to be the person like but I but I'll
So we had a role swap. Okay, I was talking about this too. We had a role swap. When he was on my podcast, he felt like a dad and I was like the kid. Or he was my psychiatrist and I was the patient. But today, I was his dad or like psychiatrist, or even thought he was me, and he was the patient, right? Did you felt that role swap or not really? Maybe you were so gone you didn't know what was
It
going
was
on.
so gone.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right.
it's not like that kind of thing.
Yeah. From my perspective.
Sure.
You can see.
The three biggest things that I kept repeating was four things. There's so many that I kept repeating. One is like, am I stuck in a loop? Oh, two, don't let me die. Please don't let me die. I thought I was dead so many times. But every time I would come back for like a millisecond, I'd be like, please don't let me die.
Yeah.
I kept asking, did I shield on Lord's Mobile?
That was fucking retarded.
Yeah, I would ask that.
How has this mobile game convinced you so much? They're all lolling at that.
Oh my god.
How is this mobile game mind control you so much that you're on a trip you describe as being in another dimension for lifetimes?
These were
And-
only in the
and
milliseconds that I would come
Right,
back
right,
to like
right.
semi-lucidity.
Right,
Yeah.
but then you need a shield in Lord's Mobile. Fucking ridiculous.
And then I kept getting really worried that I was saying like really inappropriate shit. Oh, and then I kept asking if I was streaming. I asked like a million times, like, am I streaming this? Am I streaming this? And Reckful really wanted me to, and the other people didn't. But I wish we should have gone to like an Airbnb.
But we have a
like,
video of the
stream.
whole thing.
Yeah.
We have a video of the whole thing.
And hopefully someday I can like dump the raw footage of that. But like the thing is that like watching it, like you guys don't even understand that I'm living lifetimes between questions. I can't put that into words. Oh my god.
Once we start saying now.
What?
Oh, you haven't eaten any food.
No, I know. I'm so hungry.
Eat it.
Yeah, I will.
I'm gonna hold your phone.
I still feel like marijuana high right now.
That's your charger? Yeah.
Like so like everything I'm just kind of like giggly and like a little lightheaded. So like marijuana high, but like the trip shit is like way done with that. I didn't feel nauseous at all. No. I don't think I would ever do this again. Oh god, I can't imagine. Oh, I remember the worst part of the trip was I think I asked one of you guys how far into it are we, and someone said like we have like 5 hours to go, and I wanted to die
Yeah, I remember that.
because I had already
You asked that many times though. Oh, you were asking, like, I did the analogy to you were like a kid on a road trip saying, are we there yet? Over and over and over and over and over. You asked maybe 50 times.
The thing is that like
over.
I would live for lifetimes of suffering, and then I would ask you if we were done, and it wasn't even close to done yet, and I already lived like for an infinite amount of time where I was dead.
Yeah.
And then I had to do more. Oh god. Oh my god.
You were heroic. So he started the day, he was like,
Oh,
who made you want to do mushrooms?
there's a guy that I talked to. I think I can say his name. It's Devin. A guy that has recommended me to try like psycho experience. There's like over the past 2 years, I've come to like really value subjective experiences. That I feel like in order to like really understand them, like I need to go through something myself. There've been a couple of situations in my life that have made me feel that way. Like things like experiencing like racism and sexism are like a huge eye-opening thing for me, and I had to like seriously like take a step back and revamp how I evaluated those situations. So now I'm like very big on like, if people are describing that there's like some crazy transcendent experience that you can get, well, of course I want to get it.
You're gonna hold this good so I can eat more.
Yeah, sure.
I'm listening.
And like people kept talking about like the ego death and shit. I was like, okay, well yeah, I gotta do it. And like, yeah, of course. Oh god, and you're just like,
How many people have actually tried this?
I don't know how many people in chat have like tripped.
There's all gonna say they have, but I don't like, personally know anyone who's told me that they have.
Was it a mistake? No, in retrospect, I'm so glad I had the. I think I said that like a million times as I was finally coming back, that I was so glad I did it. It was a horrible trip to live through. Like at the time, it was the most excruciating. It's like you have steps where like you remember, because at one point I was thinking like this is so horrible, but then I remember thinking that like it shouldn't even be horrible because who I am shouldn't exist to even think it's horrible, because this is the state of nothingness and being dead. And we get stuck in these loops of like that kind of thought for so long.
I don't think they brought my pancakes. Now, how come I'm always the unlucky one?
Do you think you have too much outside stimulation from other people?
Hey, Destiny, can I eat some of your pancakes?
Yeah, sure. They're really.
You sure?
Yeah.
Alright.
I would never. I am not the kind of person to ever let you do something because I think it would make you feel better if I didn't want you to do it. Okay?
Right.
Yeah. As long as you don't eat them all. Oh, somebody posed the question of what it would be like to trip on my own. I have no idea. Because, like, the thing that was crazy was that, like, there was enough of me there to know that what I was hearing was fake. Because, like, I kept hearing these guys would talk about me, and they would say things like, oh, like, does he really think that this is real? And every thought, like, right before the thought would appear in my head, I would hear one of them say it before me, and then you would be, but then like it was so recursive because like she would be saying that like he thinks he's actually like thinking right now, and he thinks that he's making me say this, and like every like my entire reality is like being perpetually gaslit.
Thank you so much. I want to show you a stream of my pancakes.
Your chocolate chip pancakes?
Yeah. So, there was a point where we had to get up and look in a mirror.
Because I really thought I was you. I was 100% positive.
I had to show him he wasn't me. So I had to get up with him, go to a mirror, and we stared in the mirror. And then you went to the bathroom.
I think I talked to myself.
You talked to yourself.
Oh my god.
And you called your friends on Discord too.
That was really bad. I shouldn't have done that. I really thought I was you for a long time.
Yeah, it's hard to comprehend, right? What do people think about that?
I don't know. Oh god.
Do I need to try this, or is me hearing your experience enough?
If you feel like no, I'm not communicating even I can't communicate what it is to not be. I can't communicate that. There's no way that I can put into words what that is. And to constantly the thing is that like I can't to constantly come back to what you feel is reality, and then seeing that it's not reality, and then to do that over and over and over and over again, thinking that every time you come back, this is going to be reality, but it's never going to feel right anymore. I can't like explain that. Like I would come back and I'd be like, is this it? And I would look at something and one thing's not right, and I would be like, oh god, what if this is actually reality, and now I'm never going to feel like anything is real anymore.
But going into beforehand knowing it ends at some point if you did research, right? And if I've already seen you, will that help me at all?
I don't think it'll help anything. It's just an experience.
Right, no, but if I know it's going to end because I've seen you, you get through it, it ends, and I know...
No, when you're going through it, you're none... Because you don't exist. The person that had those thoughts...
You come to for a second, over and over.
But I don't know if that's really me coming to. That's part of the delusion. That's the problem, is that you can't trust your senses. So like I would come to, but then immediately after you would tell me that it's reality, something would happen and I know it's not real.
Know it's not real, yeah.
So how do I know what any reality is? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. So I'm still like a little like kind of marijuana high is how I would describe it right now. But like the trip is over. But yeah, I might have like I'll probably start driving back tomorrow. I might have like a better way of describing this once I've like settled down more. But oh my god, like holy shit. If you like have if you have like the personality. Oh, this is I'm gonna ask again. It's psilocybin.
I think it's psilocybin.
Psilocybin.
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. So I did 10.5 grams of psilocybin, and I went to dimensions. I don't even want to say another dimension. Multiple dimensions of existence that were not fathomable by me.
To correct you, you ate 10.5 grams of the dried mushrooms that contain psilocybin. I don't know how much of the actual.
Oh yeah, I don't know. It's like raw. Yeah, no, it's not like 10.5 grams of yeah. But oh man, oh god. Whew. I'm glad. Oh, I'm so glad I did it though, because I almost only did 3.5, and that whatever that was, I felt that high, and that's like what everybody describes, like the explosions of colors on the wall and things. I can't explain, like your reality changing around you in like a kind of an artsy sense. But then when the other two bags kicked in, oh god, it was so horrible. Being lost in a lifetime of negative experiences, constantly like, this is what you wanted, you fucked up, now you're dead. You're so dumb, you fucked up, you're dead. Why did you do this? You're dead. And then like that fading because you don't even exist anymore. Like whoever that was that didn't want to do it is not even a thing anymore. You're just a thing, a conscious entity observing this death loop. And this is what reality, eternity will be like for you, is being dead.
People, I was just thinking, have never seen you so incoherent as you were in the video of you taking this, right?
Yeah.
And the way you, I mean, when you saw yourself that way, it's probably weird. You're just sitting there saying, is this real? Wait, am I streaming? Wait, am I live? Am I dead? Is this real? Wait, like over and over.
When I watched that on video, and it was so back to back, that blew my mind. Because I would ask that, and then I would go off into like another for so long, and then I would feel like I would come back.
Yeah.
And I thought there was so much time between these. Oh god. Okay. Anyway, that was my
I like that you told this. Yeah, it's nice that you told the story now, like while it's fresh too.
So
to yourself, it's like a diary.
Sure. If you're thinking of doing this, the people that I was with were ultra super chill. Like I actually don't even know these people well enough to be doing it. Make sure you're really comfortable with the people that you're with. I don't know if I'd recommend this to anybody. I intentionally wanted a really bad experience, and I think I got it. Oh my god, it was everything I wanted it to be. I'm so happy I did it, but like, if you're gonna do this, you have to go in knowing that like, you're gonna you're gonna just die. You're gonna be dead, and you're gonna hate it, and think that it's the worst thing.
That's where I'm interested too, and the difference of experience for someone who doesn't mind being let's say someone suicidal takes it, they're interested in that experience. Let's say somebody who doesn't mind being in a dream world forever, like the experience machine is what you're talking about, right? Let's say if someone didn't mind that, takes it, what's their experience? And like maybe the fear goes away, right?
Yeah, it's hard for me to say because I don't know how much of my consciousness was affecting it. Because like you would keep gaslighting me because I would think that like, well, I don't want to be dead, and then I would hear you say like, oh, he still thinks he's Stephen Bonnell. Like, of course he doesn't want to be dead because he thinks he has a kid. Of course he doesn't want to be dead. He thinks he's a famous streamer. Of course he doesn't want to be dead. He thinks that he's like some popular YouTube star. Like, and you would keep saying it to gaslight the fuck out of me.
So this is in his head, to clarify.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is all in my head. And these people are like really nice. I don't have any reason to think bad things about these people. Oh my god. Oh yeah, anyway. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend this unless you are like super ready for what you're getting into. Maybe, but the thing is like if you want this experience, I know that one bag wouldn't have given me this. Because it was like such an artsy experience. It just wasn't even, it wasn't that at all. Like, oh god, past that was insane. But yeah. Alright, I love you guys. I'll start streaming the drive back tomorrow or some shit, maybe breakfast with people, but thanks guys, I love you all very much. Do you want to say final words or?
Goodbye everybody.
Yeah. Rip one.